What's going on YouTube? Brian here, and this is for kind of my non-musician people or maybe my novice musicians that are getting into recording. How is an album made? Is it magic? No, but there is a little bit of studio magic that goes on. So let's just imagine we have a four-piece band, drummer, guitar, probably the lead guitarist, singer that may play like rhythm guitar, and a bass player. So let's pretend that all the songs have been written, demoed, everyone knows what they're going to do. They head in the studio, the engineer and band is probably going to want to start with recording just the drums. So it's pretty atypical to have the band play live nowadays. Does it happen? Yes, for sure. And a lot of bands like to do it that way, and they may isolate their amp cabinets and drums may be isolated, and they put on headphones and they can all hear each other and everything. But typically, still 2024, the bands are playing everything separate. So the drums get tracked to a click track most, I would say, some of the time, not most, I don't know. I love recording to a click. A click means a metronome with the beats per minute going, right? So the drummer has his headphones on and all he's hearing is, now there may be a scratch guitar and a scratch vocal and a scratch bass in the background that was either pre-recorded to the same beats per minute click, or maybe they're recording it right on the spot and then just keep playing back that scratch, or maybe the band wants to capture like the essence and the energy of every take, so they're playing along with the drummer, but nothing's being recorded except for the drums. Let's say the drummer's done with his job and he gets to chill. Next typically would be the bass guitar. They will set up their cab and usually do a direct in, so a DI. That means you're getting the signal from the amp straight to whatever preamp you're recording to, be it a mixing board or an like a external pre. And they will also mic the bass cabinet. So, you know, throw a mic on the bass cab, and they have two signals, right? So you can blend these two. You can blend the DI signal with the amped signal, the cab signal, I mean. Forgive me, I'm a little tired today. And so now you got your drums playing, your bass is playing along to that, and he may say like, I want that scratch vocal in there for cues, or I want that scratch guitar or whatever. But now we have the rhythm section, the drums and bass locked in, right? So next, typically, you're gonna wanna do your rhythm guitar, which, you know, it's usually more locked in than your lead guitar stuff. So the singer, let's pretend the singer also plays rhythm guitar, like a Scenario, like Metallica, like James Hetfield. They're going to go in and they're going to probably do the same thing. They may take a DI, they may not. They may have two mics on the cab, let's say like a condenser mic in the room, maybe to pick up some room natural reverb, and then they may have like a close mic on it to get that, you know, that speaker punch. Those two signals can be blended as well. The lead guitarist is then going to go in and do his thing over that. And with lead guitars, you're talking, you know, you got solos, and we call it comping. So they may do like 5 takes that are all awesome, and then they go in and they chop that lead up. And that goes for everything too, by the way. The drummer might say like, I want to try like 4 different fills in this particular section leading into the chorus or whatever. And the engineer will have the option of how to splice those things together, and we call it Frankensteining. So sometimes like the drum take or the bass guitar takes that you hear are not just one solid take, right? They used to cut it back in the day. They called it cutting tape. That's when you literally took a reel-to-reel tape and spliced. It was kind of an art, still is, I guess you could say. But now we use this thing called Pro Tools, and we can just go in with a cursor and line up exactly what we want to take, what we want to keep, and what we want to throw away. Technically, I guess you could call it throwing it away, but it's always saved, right? So then after the guitars are tracked, bass is tracked, drums are tracked, then you might go to your vocals. And your vocals will be Frankensteined as well. They might do 5, 10 passes of the song, and where the singer's a little flat, you could always auto-tune, or you might just go into one of the takes that's like, just has like the perfect one word and just splice that one word and make sure that one word gets in there, and then maybe the other take number 4, let's say, was like the main take and you're using the majority of that, but then you're Frankensteining with those other vocal takes. So we got everything done, the basics. This is when I would, or typically drummers would, go in and add some shaker, some tambourine, things like that. After that's all said and done, after we think we got everything in the can, meaning it's all recorded and all the instruments are tracked, this is when you start mixing. And mixing is literally like baking a cake or like making a recipe or something. You're trying to figure out what to add, what to take away. You start with just volume, like, is everything balanced pretty well? And then after that you can start having fun, like, oh, maybe I want this like vocal like to be like popping out a little bit, so I'm going to put a little bit of distortion on it. Or maybe I want this snare reverb to echo or reverberate a little more in the chorus, and then dip it back down to the verse. After the mixing stage, then you have your mastering stage, which is the mastering engineer has it's the final hands that's on your product before it sees publishing. So the mastering engineer is going to come in and get it radio ready, we call it. So that's like your volumes are matching 2024 volumes without peaking. It's going to sound good for the radio. It's going to sound good in the car. It's going to sound good on an iPhone. And this is a very underappreciated process. So we got recording, then mixing, which is super important as well, and then finally mastering. And then after the band gives a thumbs up, that's when it hits the vinyl press or the CD or the MP3 or whatever it is. That's how a record's made. Thanks.